All right, welcome back to the Sorta Cool Show, episode 2 of season 1. So hope you guys enjoyed that first episode. It was just a quick welcome, just kind of let you guys know a little bit about who we are, what we have going on. Recording here in Nashville, Tennessee. We're having a blast. We hope you're having a blast too. Jimmy, what do you think, man?
I'm having a blast, man. This is our second show. I feel like we've done 100 already. Yeah, what's that?
You feel good about that first episode?
I feel awesome about it, man.
Good, absolutely. Man, good. Hey, so this week we're going to talk a little bit about supergroups, and you and I are going to draft our own supergroup, which I think is going to be so fun.
Yes, we are. So we talked about this before, man. We have literally talked about what bands we would thought would be just awesome together, and here we are doing it. It's gonna be fun. This is gonna be a good time.
Well, you and I both have dreamt about, like, what if I was Doc McGee, if I were going to put together the greatest supergroup ever, like, who would I choose? Well, now you and I get to be managers, and we get to choose who the heck we want to put in our band. We're going to put our own bands together. It's going to be so great.
Anybody we want, dead, alive, old, young, it doesn't matter. We choose. This is our fantasy supergroup, and we get to be the managers.
That's right. One thing we can't do,
name the band too.
We can't choose two members of the same band. So I can't say, for example, Axl Rose and Slash are my singer and guitar player. You can't choose Paul Stanley and Ace Frehley, right?
That's right. And that's right. I can't choose one person from a band, and that's it.
You would just say, hey, I want the Kiss lineup 1977, call it a day, you're done.
Would do the Kiss lineup 77 or 75 or whatever. And then I would choose Extreme, just all four of the guys from Extreme. I'm good with that too, but I couldn't do that. So
yeah. So
man, I think do this
from a supergroup standpoint, man. I really loved Damn Yankees. I thought they were great. You got Ted Nugent on guitar. You've got Jack Blades from Night Ranger on. He's doing vocals. And then freaking Tommy Shaw. I mean, come on. I mean, seriously, like those three dudes alone in a band together is insane. And then they had some random dude playing drums. I'm not really sure where he came from, but I think he plays for Skinner now. But
somebody called Leonard something of that nature. Yes, him.
So you've seen
what was his last name? Corleone.
Man, dude. Honestly, I can't remember his name. I don't think it matters. It's almost like the guitar player in Velvet Revolver, which is one of my favorite supergroups, because I'm a huge Guns N' Roses fan. So when you've got Duff, Matt Sorum, and Slash like in a band together, it's pretty killer, and then you add Scott Weiland on vocals. Other people. And then the other dude, like who's that other guitar? I know he's like a legit dude, but like it's not somebody that I've ever followed.
Another supergroup, you just mentioned Damn Yankees. I got to see them.
Yeah.
I actually got to see them open for Bad Company. And this was when Bad Company did not have Paul Rogers.
Oh, wow.
No, it was the other guy who I couldn't remember his name.
They had a couple pretty massive hits without Paul Rogers.
If you needed somebody,
late 80s
that song. Yeah, if you needed somebody, that was that tour.
And didn't they have another one called like Holy Water or something like that?
Yes, Holy Water. That's exactly right.
Those songs were so good, man.
And he was a good singer, but Damn Yankees opened for them. It's like unbelievable. I mean, I'm a huge Styx fan. And I love Tommy Shaw and, Nugent and all that. But another supergroup, man, Bad English.
Man, dude. Yeah, I mean, like that's the funny thing, man. Neil Schon obviously was the lead guitar player for Journey as well as Bad English.
Santana back in the day.
Yes. I mean, that guy has been in 3, 4, 5 different. What was the band that Hot Cherie,
Hardline?
Dude.
My gosh.
Dude, I'm telling you, that dude, I mean, when I've seen Journey live a few times. I know you've seen them too, but man, like the last time I saw them, they were co-headlining with Def Leppard. Neil Schon shreds like on every single song, like a 2.5, 3-minute solo. It was started to drive me crazy. Like about 3 songs in, but the guy's
so melodic. He's so melodic when he does it. Even when he shreds, he's so melodic. It's not like a noisy. It's just, it's just those Journey leads he plays are very, you can hum them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
he's brilliant, man. He's brilliant. I mean, there's so many great super groups, but I don't think any super group is going to be better than the ones that you and I put together.
Oh, no. Well,
today,
I mean,
right?
I don't even know why we even have to say that, because I think people are out there going, this is going to be the most amazing super group we have ever heard.
Well, hey, so why don't we kick off the 2020 sort of cool super group draft with your first pick of lead vocal?
Oh, okay. You guys are going to just lose your mind when you hear who I have for lead vocal. Now, this guy goes way back. He's been around the business for a while. I'm not going to give you a whole lot of detail about him. I'm just going to tell you a little, just a little bit. Had a band called Stark Raving Mad with Winger's Paul Taylor back in the day. He was in a band called Kid Courage, and the cool thing about this, they opened 2 AC/DC shows in the Bay Area back when AC/DC first came to America ever. So that was a cool fact. But this guy has one of my favorite voices. This is him in 1992. All right, Mr. Big's Eric Martin.
That's a good one. Dude, that's a good one. I love Mr. Big. There's a local record store up by my house called Spinners, and I know you've been there with me once when you came here to town to kind of check things out. I was up there one day digging around, and I came across one of his solo records and picked it up. And man, it's just really good. The guy has got such a classic rock voice, but then his solo record wasn't like it didn't sound like Mr. Big. It was a little bit more pop. But dude, it was incredible. Like I love Eric Martin. Super cool pick. Really, really good pick. He
is a good one. Well, who you got, brother?
Man, all right. So I went in a different direction than you did. So
okay.
This is a little bit different. But man, this dude unfortunately is no longer with us. But he was considered one of the nicest guys in metal. I've been reading up a lot on this individual, and so many people had so many great things to say about him, and just how genuinely nice of a guy he was. And this dude was the lead singer for Rainbow. Mm-hmm. He replaced Ozzy Osbourne in Black Sabbath, and then he had his own band called Dio. Ladies and gentlemen, Ronnie James Dio is my lead singer of my supergroup.
I'll give you a hand for that one.
That's right.
Yeah,
I've been listening to the Dio the 10-year, like a decade, like hits record lately, just to kind of brush back up on some of my early '80s metal. Holy Diver was like a classic record. It's considered one of the greatest metal records of all time.
I agree.
Man, his vocals are just spot on. He's so good. And quite honestly, you got to pick your lead singer properly, because lead singers often are the reason bands break up. So I figure I got a great singer who's a nice guy. My supergroup's going to be around for a bit.
Okay, well, I hear you, man. That's a good choice. I like Ronnie James Dio, so I don't hate you for that one. Okay. All right, what we got up next?
So for our 2020 sort of cool supergroup draft, we're going to pick lead guitar players next. Who you got?
Oh, okay. Well, my guy is the best guitar player that's ever lived in the history of the world, in my opinion, as well. Didn't want to play music, had no interest in music when he was a kid. He wanted to act and play hockey and play football. He was first a drummer. But he joined his now famous band when they were already established, and I didn't know that. That was a new fact I learned. Without going in any further details, once I say his name, everybody will go, "Oh my gosh, that is the best." Nuno Betancourt from Extreme.
Oh, man.
He never ages. He's just Nuno.
He's so good, dude.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Not to get a little too off here, but like I saw it was like years ago on an MTV thing or something, but Rihanna was performing. And I was like, is that Nuno Betancourt playing guitar for Rihanna?
The same thing.
But
the same thing. I kept staring at it going, that has got to be him. And it was.
Yeah, man. That's so cool, man. To be able to go from a band like Extreme, And dude, you've seen Extreme, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I saw them only once on the Waiting for the Punchline tour. And, first of all, Gary Sharon is a ridiculous front man. I think,
he is my favorite.
It's almost like you had to, because of our rules where you can only have one person per band per supergroup. Right. You couldn't choose them both. He would have
been my guy.
But I could tell, Gary Sharon probably would have been your guy. But
I saw him with Bon Jovi back on the Keep the Faith tour.
Wow.
Yeah, they opened for Bon Jovi. So, so who you got, man?
Dude, for me, all right, the year's 19, it's yeah, right. The year's 1987. I'm sitting in front of my TV set. I'm 12 years old. I'm in the 7th grade, and it's one day after school. I come home and I'm sitting down eating a little freaking snack pack pudding pack or something. I don't know, whatever you do when you're 12 years old, sitting in the living room floor, right? So I sit down, I turn on the TV like every kid my age did, and we watched MTV. And then all of a sudden, Adam Curry, one of the VJs on MTV. And for those of you listening, who are much younger than us, yes, at one point MTV stood for music television, and they played videos 24/7.
24/7.
And dude,
right.
World premiere, Welcome to the Jungle from a band called Guns N' Roses. And my mind was blown. This dude walks out in this top hat, this sunburst Les Paul guitar. And I freaked out, man. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what in the world is going on? So, man, my guy, Saul Hudson, better known as Slash, he's my lead guitar player in my supergroup.
Great pick, man. That's a great pick. So we both are on a roll, man.
Let's talk a second about Slash, man. I saw him. Yeah. My son, we talked in the last episode, he started to play guitar, and I'm really pumped about, where he's coming along as an artist, as a musician. And dude, so I took him to see Slash, just one of his favorite guitar players. And we saw him at the Ryman in Nashville, which is about a 2,500 seat room, so it's Slash and Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators, that band was just ridiculous that night. Yeah. But man, we're standing there, and the way the room is laid out is it's basically an old church. So you're kind of sitting in pews, and the room is kind of a half circle. So it's a really interesting room. The funny thing about that room is you either want to be in the balcony or you want to be in like the first 6 rows on the floor. You definitely don't want to be under the balcony in that room. It's just a weird sound. So when you buy tickets,
I've sat in the balcony before.
The balcony's incredible. So when you buy tickets, you look in the balcony first, which is really different for venues. Most venues are like, I want to be down front, I want to be on the lower level. But in this one, you want to be in the balcony or the first 5 or 6 rows on the floor. Dude, so we were like row 5, the row right in front of the balcony on the floor. And Slash comes over to our side. He's probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 feet from us, and is just ripping on his guitar. It's the greatest thing ever, man. I look at my son, and he's just like, oh my gosh, like that's freaking Slash right in front of my face. So anyway, and then you and I have both seen GNR. I've seen GNR 4 times now. I saw him on the Use Your Illusions tour, and then I've seen him 3 times on this not in this Lifetime tour. And dude, I'll go see them again. It's just they're just such a fun band. So
yeah, I saw him in '87 with Motley opening, the first time I'd ever seen GNR, and I went and bought the cassette the next day because I'd never heard of him, and I was just freaking blown away by him. Yeah, absolutely, good choice, man.
So good, great choice. All right, man, we're gonna move on to keyboard players in our supergroup draft here. Yeah, man.
I have a guy who is also no longer with us, but this guy, I'm going to read a quote, and I'll tell you who it's from. Just really quickly, this guy, the quote says, and I quote, "He is the most influential musical presence in my life. There has never been a musician like him in the history of hard rock. Everything about him was cool." That was said by Lars Ulrich of Metallica.
Yeah, man.
So this guy co-founded Deep Purple in '68. He also had a stint with Whitesnake, but I'm going with John Lord from Deep Purple.
That's a good one.
Yeah, man.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. He's great.
Keyboards, it's hard, man, because, I think when you think of keys and piano, most people, you don't think of hard rock for one thing.
That's
and
right.
Most people are going to go to, Billy Joel or
Elton John or somebody.
Or something like that. Right. So, yeah, man, dude, that's a great pick, man. Way to go. Way to go. Man.
Cool. All right. Who you got?
All right, man. All right. So I'm going again a little off base for my keyboard player here. And I'm, by this point I'm a teenager. I'm driving now. I've got my driver's license, and I'm heading over to my friend's house, and he had a studio in his basement, and we were going to go over and record a little bit. And man, I had the radio on, and this cool thunderous drum sound was coming on, and this great guitar sound, and then it's very progressive sounding, and this keyboard, man, these keys were just rocking. It was so great. It was a song "Pull Me Under" from Dream Theater, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is incredible, man. Those musicians were just insane. Yes. Again, I know that's not a super group, man, but those guys are also highly skilled, highly trained. Man, it's just incredible. So Kevin Moore from Dream Theater, he played with them from the late 80s to the early 90s. He's my guy, man.
Pick. Good pick, man. I mean, that's a great band. Isn't the drummer for Dream Theater? Can't think of his name right off the top of my head. Portnoy, yeah, great drummer too. So, yeah, absolutely, man. Good choice, man. We're on a roll.
Heck yeah.
We're on a roll. The Sort of Cool show is on a roll.
That's right, man. All right, dude. So here we go. We've got a couple more instruments left. We've got our rhythm guitar player. We've got our bass guitar player. Then we've got our drummer. And, this was your idea, which I really love. We had to come up with a name for our band. So we'll get to rhythm. We'll get to rhythm guitar right here.
All right, my guy. The reason I chose this guy, I had a couple other choices to begin with, but this guy I went with because he can also play lead. So I wanted to do somebody who could switch in, switch off with Nuno, which you don't really need anybody. But anyway, this guy was actually, I didn't know this, he was in the Bullet Boys for a while.
Wow. Love that band.
Yeah. He also was in Guns N' Roses in 09 to 15. This is when Axl put his own version of Guns N' Roses together.
Axl Rose and his cover band.
The most interesting fact about this guy is in 2013, he wanted to propose to his girlfriend. Check this out. So he talked 3 Las Vegas police officers into taking him and his girlfriend up in a police helicopter to ride so he could propose over the city of Las Vegas. He did. Well, when they got down, it wasn't a cool thing because all 3 officers were punished for unauthorized use of a police vehicle. One of them retired before he got demoted. One was transferred, and the pilot was banned forever flying for the police department ever again in his life.
Dude, that is so rock and roll.
That's crazy, isn't it? But anyway, I've gotten to see this guy. I love him. DJ Ashba, who is now with 6 a.m., one of my favorite bands. That's my rhythm player. Bingo.
Yeah, man. It's funny. I saw a poll on a Facebook group I'm a part of with it's like a Guns N' Roses fan group. Obviously anybody can be a part of it, but I saw somebody do a poll on how do we let's pick our favorite Guns N' Roses lineup. And I was like, well, that's really stupid. I mean, everybody's going to pick the 5. I mean, that's the only way to do it. But I was shocked at how many votes DJ got.
Really?
Obviously he was in second place, but he got a ton of votes, man, like behind Slash. So
killer.
Anyway, man, that's a good pick, dude. He's really great. Really great.
Yeah, man. Who you got?
My guy was he started a band with his brother. So this guy was the older brother to Angus Young of AC/DC. So Malcolm Young, man, like he's my guy. Again, another guy who's no longer with us. Man, Malcolm,
that's a great pick, though.
I think if you really pay attention to the AC/DC stuff, man, if you listen to their music and you just listen to that rhythm guitar, obviously, Angus is the face and the vibe and the feel. He's the star of that band.
Right.
I mean, especially when you've got a guy like Bon Scott, who's very charismatic as a singer, and then he dies unexpectedly, very early on in their career, and then they bring in Brian Johnson, and Brian Johnson in his own right is a fantastic singer. But, he, and they still had massive success with those 2 lead singers, but really Angus carried it from a presence standpoint. But even Angus will say to this day that Malcolm was the glue to AC/DC. He was the organized guy. He was the one who kept that band moving. He was always coming up with ideas, writing songs, really cool rhythm parts. And he really was the driving force behind AC/DC. And I would say in my expert opinion, right?
Okay, I give
I'm
you
not
that.
really an expert. Well, whatever. We'll just say that.
Sure, you are,
in
man.
In my opinion, I think Malcolm Young is one of the most underappreciated guitar players.
That's right.
Oh, yeah,
I agree, man. Great
that's
pick.
Him, and I'm staying with it, man. Malcolm Young.
Okay, all right. I got you. Good pick, man. Good. I like that.
Thank you.
Where we at now? Bass player.
We're bass guitar, man.
All right, my dude. Some of you guys may know him, but the cool thing about him, he's a South Carolina boy. He actually he started with a band called Max Warrior, who I got to see open for Stryper back in the day, early day. He also ended up with a band that you guys know called Firehouse, who started in 1989. We talked about their record last week, how great it was, as a debut record. he left Firehouse in 2000 and he went to play with country acts, man. He played with Trace Atkins and Craig Morgan for a while, but he also joined Stryper, who he's currently with in 2017 to replace Tim Gaines. My bass guy is Perry Richardson.
Come on, man. I love it. Dude, I was a huge fan of Firehouse, man. That first album,
Me too.
Unfortunately came at a really bad time for hair metal. It came out in 1990. Kind of right when Nirvana was starting to kind of come around. And, obviously, as we all know, they kind of, Nirvana ushered in grunge music, which really for all intents and purposes,
everybody mad,
killed hair metal. That's right.
It did, man. It did.
So anyway, that was a band, but that was a great record. I only got to see Firehouse one time live, but man, they were fantastic, man.
With you, I saw them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that's right.
Warrant. Yeah, Trickster Warrant Firehouse. Yeah, man.
Yeah, when I saw him with Max Warrior, CJ Snare was also who was Firehouse singer, was also the singer for Max Warrior too. So
that's awesome. The funny thing. Cool. So Firehouse. I grew up in Charlotte, and you still live in Charlotte, but they were kind of a local band, but they were called White Heat.
White Heat. That's
right.
Yeah.
And so they were on like the local rock station on local licks, like on Friday nights or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I remember they played Shake and Tumble and Rock on the Radio on 95.7 The Rock in Charlotte. And they played them and was like, hey, this is the new band. This is White Heat, but they're having a contest to come up with a name of their band. And so you would call in and submit your name for this new band. And so, I don't know if they got their name this way or not, but they ended up changing their name from White Heat to Firehouse. Yeah.
Interesting story real quick
like a Virginia. Yeah, I think like a Virginia.
Yeah, they came from Richmond.
They
were from Richmond, but they moved to Charlotte. But the interesting story, a mutual friend of ours that played, that we know, name's Michael from the Charlotte area. He told me that when they got together, they decided not to play any gigs. They rented a house, and all they did was write day in, day in, day in, day. That's what they did. They wrote. They didn't play any gigs.
Their debut
had enough to demo.
It's really ridiculous, man. So many great songs. Yeah. Songs. Cool, man. All right. Well, my next one is going to cause me a lot of flack. I think people are going to probably disrespect me for this one, for my bass player.
Okay.
It's going to, I'm almost a little bit ashamed, but then again, I'm not. So this gentleman, reason I picked him was because he played bass for Alice Cooper back in the 80s. Right. And, Alice Cooper only chooses the A-list to play in his band. He doesn't choose. If you're not the best on the market, you don't get the gig. Yep. He doesn't choose the B. He chooses the A, and that's it. And Kip Winger is my guy. Kip Winger, the ballet dancing bass player of hair metal, man. I don't know. You can call him whatever you want to call him.
Funny thing is, I don't hate you for that.
Stuart Stevenson, the character on Beavis and Butthead who wore the Winger shirt, was always getting, always getting made fun of by Beavis and Butthead. As you know, those guys have Metallica and AC/DC shit. They were way cooler than Stuart was. But man, yeah, totally. So the funny thing is like, every time because Beavis and Butthead, they would have like the skit, like the cartoon thing, and then they would watch music videos and they would critique the video and make fun of the video. Right. And they every single time, a Winger video would come on, they're like, those guys are wussies.
Yeah, that's right.
Totally making fun of him. So anyway, that's my guy, Kip Winger. You can make fun of him if you want, but the dude's a beast of a bass player, and he's a fantastic singer and a freaking amazing songwriter.
Amazing songwriter. Yeah, if you ever get a chance, people listen to his acoustic stuff. It'll blow your mind if you just like that kind of stuff. So, all right, good pick, man. We got good bands.
Yeah, dude,
we got good bands.
Great bands.
All right, where we at? Drums.
Drums, man. This is our last instrument for the draft, and then we gotta name our band.
All right. For my drums, I went a little bit different. Kind of different from me, but this guy, first of all, he toured with Alanis Morissette, the pop rock girl back in the day who had that jagged Little Pills album or whatever it was. Yep. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on him. I'm just going to tell you who it is. he was actually called by the leader of this band to ask, hey, do you know any drummers that we could get? Because we just kicked our drummer out. And he was like, dude, I'll do it, and the deal is that he never thought he would leave Atlantis. He said he didn't want to be a drummer for somebody else. He wanted to be in a rock band, a real band. That was Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
So this is the Foo Fighters drummer. I love this guy. I love to watch him. Taylor Hawkins from the Foo Fighters. This guy rocks, man. Absolutely
love that,
rocks.
Dude. Love that, man. I saw Foo Fighters a couple of years ago at Bridgestone in Nashville, and it was back when Dave had broken his foot or leg or whatever it was, and he was in that throne with those like guitar stocks, whatever, like on the side of it. It was so cool. I was a little bit bummed when I heard that he wasn't going to be like up and rocking, but quite honestly, dude, he just put on such a fantastic show, like even in that throne like that. It was unbelievable. But Taylor, he's like Animal from the Muppets when you watch him play.
Yes,
man.
that's right.
Ridiculous. He's got a great voice when he sings. Wow. I mean, he's
great,
cool, man. That's a fantastic pick, man. One of my favorite drummers.
Yeah, man. Who you got, man?
All right, man. So this one's mine. This guy, he's been around for a long time, playing in multiple bands, and man, just all around really, really killer drummer. He's like the consummate rock drummer. Like when you think of rock drummers, like I think this is one of the guys that should come to mind. If he doesn't, he absolutely should come to mind. So my guy here, man, Bobby Rock, went to Berklee College of Music. The dude played for Vinnie Vincent Invasion. He was the first drummer for them, played on both records, toured, so he was kind of the drummer that whole time there. He played in an 80s band called Nitro. They had a big song called Freight Train. And then he also
we have a guy that don't like Nitro.
Yeah, we do on our on our Instagram page. He commented about that. So that's okay. That's all right. We can't be for everybody, man. So, so he played with Nitro, and then he left Nitro. Yeah, if that dude didn't like Nitro, he's not going to like this next band that Bobby played in. But Bobby played in Nelson. So the Nelson brothers, Matthew and Gunnar Nelson. He played for Nelson then, and then now, man, the guy tours with Lita Ford. And dude, it's like the funny thing is, I read Bobby's book just recently that he put out, and in the book, I think Lita Ford might have written the foreword. She wrote something in the.
She did do the foreword for the book.
Okay, so it was the foreword, and I remember she said in there that she called. I believe it was Gunnar Nelson. It's like, hey, I need a drummer to fill in. My drummer's gone. I need a drummer to fill in. Like, who do you call? And he's like, the only guy you call is Bobby Rock. He's the only one to call.
He's great, man.
Which is really cool. Great. That's like high praise, So Bobby Rock, man, that's my guy. And if you haven't read his book, The Boys Gonna Rock, you got to pick it up, man. It's a great. You got to. It's really fun. It's really fast, and he's a smart dude, man. Like, he's had some kind of, like most rockers do, have a little bit of a troubling past, but man, he came out of it quickly and kind of recovered. Man, lives a super healthy life. He runs and works out all the time, and like the dude's just incredible, man. He's just such a great dude. Really good Instagram follow too. If you haven't followed him.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. So there's our group, people. There's our band. Yeah. So I'm gonna run down real quickly mine, and you run down your list. Then we'll name them. All right. Vocals, Eric Martin. My lead guy, Nuno Betancourt. My keyboard player, John Lord. My rhythm guy, DJ Ashba. My bass player is Perry Richardson, and my drummer is Taylor Hawkins. Rock me.
Awesome, bro. Well, what's the name of your band?
Oh, okay. Because I am and you are too, I am a fan of the Mob. Not a fan of the Mob, but I'm a fan of mob history and mafia. Yeah. So because I'm going to be an electric band, my name of my band is the Electric Mafia. There you go,
bro. I like it. It's good. All right. Okay, cool. I'll give you a quick rundown of my guys. So vocals, I've got Ronnie James Dio, lead guitar, Slash, keyboard, Kevin Moore, rhythm guitar, Malcolm Young, bass guitar, Kip Winger, drums, Bobby Rock, and my band is called The O-Neaters.
The O-Neaters.
Yeah, man.
From the Wonder Years. I mean, not the Wonder Years. What am I talking about?
No, That Thing You Do.
That Thing You Do. What in the world am I talking about?
It's one of my favorite movies of all time, man. And so
it is a great movie.
Do a little homage to Tom Hanks's film there.
There you go.
And The O-Neaters.
So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to put, there'll be something on our Instagram page about the bands our lineup and stuff. You just need to go on there and say, hey, I like Steve's band better, the Oneaters, or I like Jimmy's better, the Electric Mafia. Whatever you want to do, man. We're not going to hate you if you don't like either one of them.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram and on Facebook at The Sort of Cool Show. It was good to hang out. We'll see you next week.
Always is. See you next week, my friend.
Later.
Later.